This is one style, three looks, day at the races. So the next look in the series for occasion hair is something that you might possibly wear to the races. It's a little bit more formal than a garden party, but a little less formal than bridal hair. And this can be adapted in quite a few different ways. So if you want to wear it looser, you can get a much more casual look, or if you want to wear the look a little bit tighter and formal, you can do that too. And again, it's really simple. I'm working in sections, which are really, really easy to follow and do yourself. So the first one we need to do is divide the hair into two. So you're going to basically remove that whole top section here. And always good to have at hand when you're at home is some hair clips. You can use a crocodile clip if you find that easier, or you can pick up some of these little hairdressing clips. Clip that out the way, and then that bit is completely out the way for later. The next bit we're going to do, we're going to split the back bit into 4 separate and even ponytails. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just as long as they're somewhere around a reasonably similar size would be good. Okay, and I'm just using the end of my brush. Again, you can get these little hair up brushes from quite a few different places, and they are brilliant as they're kind of like a good multi-tool. So we've got our 4 ponytails. And what we're then going to do, each ponytail, I'm going to secure with an elastic. Again, using the same elastics as before. Really readily available, and the only thing to bear in mind with this is don't do them too tight here, or else you're going to see the band. So we're going to put the little ponytails in. The bands are all going to go in the same place. It doesn't really matter if it's too tight or too loose, but they do need to hold. Again, the idea of this is simplifying it so it's easy at home. We're not going to do something that's really elaborate and hard to follow. So if you don't do it exactly the same, but you get the same result, then brilliant. Although these look like elastic bands, they are actually special hair elastics, so they're not going to snag the hair or rip the hair. So it's really important to never ever use an elastic band, always use a hair elastic. You then literally want to get your hair and just start winding it in. So you've got like a little sort of a wave, a little curl, and each one we're going to pin. And it's probably an idea to pin, actually go that way. Sorry, go upwards with your curl, not downwards. And if it takes you a couple of goes, don't worry, you don't have to get it in first time. And I'd probably always suggest as well, when doing something like this on yourself, it's probably best not to look in the mirror while you're doing it, or else you're going to get really tangled with your hands. So I would always do it by feel first, check with the mirror afterwards. So let's just get these in, a couple of pins on each side. Okay, we're going to need 3 pins possibly, because there is quite a lot of hair here to hold. That's the one. And then you're going to literally follow that again. So each one you're just going to roll up into the middle, hold and pin. Again, don't worry at this stage if you think, oh, it looks a bit messy. You've got plenty of time and plenty of pins to play around with the final look. The idea of this stage is just to get the bare bones of it in so that you've got a nice look, and then you can work on the final presentation of it afterwards. You know, make sure it's as neat as you want it. And when you use your curvy grip, make sure that you've got your ridged edge sitting downwards, because that is going to hold more hair than using the flat side. Okay, so we've got that all pinned in. So last little bit, I'm just going to check that my shape is right. So at this point, this is when you're going to look in the mirror and think, right, that just needs to move. I'm going to tweak that a little bit, and I'm going to hide that band, okay? So you've still got plenty of time to play with it. Okay, a little bit of hairspray. So next bit, you're going to take your top section. And again, we're working in 4s, so you're going to split your top section into roughly 4 even size ponytails. Okay, then let the hair hang down. So that's number 2, number 3 and number 4. Okay, so starting in the middle, you're going to cross the midline, you're going to pin it, to one side. We're then going to tuck that away in a second. So just to get this other piece of hair out the way, we're going to take the other middle section and we're going to cross the midline again, so then you're getting rid of any parting. Okay, so once you've got to this stage, you're then going to bend your and curve around again. And pin tightly underneath. Can you see? So you're just building up that nice little curved shape. And basically, so it looks like a nice, I guess like 1940s roll underneath, okay? So then this is the stage where you literally make sure that's as you want it. A little bit of spray, then we're going to literally do the same with these side bits. You can, if you want to add a little bit more detailing, you can add a little bit of a plait to this, and that would look really, really cute on both sides. So again, it depends on the occasion. If you want to make it look a little bit softer and a little bit less structured, then a plait's a perfect way to do that. And it kind of makes the whole look a little bit younger. Okay, so again, once again. And then we're doing exactly what we did before. We're always crossing the midline. Okay, so that hair is always covering up the bit before it. So you don't see any lines, any sections or any grip marks. Okay. So I'm just going to literally come around this side and just add a little bit of detailing with that one. And I quite like that it's a little bit messy on the side. Again, it doesn't all need to be ultra neat and pristine. I think work with the hair, okay? And then just one more pin. So although you're going to do a little bit of pinning in this one, the idea that it's all in separate ponytails makes it so much easier to work with, because they'll all hold their own weight and you're not going to be left in a situation where the hair doesn't grip itself. So that basically, if we just check our finished look from the front, and just to give that another little tidy up, and if you look at it, like you can literally, if you want to soften it out, pull a few bits down, check your balance is right, and it's got a really, really good strong hold. So literally 8 ponytails, and that is your finished look.
So for this second look, I'm going to focus on the lips, and like anything, a little bit of preparation goes a long way. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of lip scrub. So this is basically a sugar-based product and it helps exfoliate the lips. So if you've got any dry areas over the lips, it just helps buff any of those areas away. So just use your finger and tap into the products there, and just in gentle circular motions, just take the sugar, it is sugar, over the lips. And that just helps create like a really smooth base to start applying your lip liner. So So once the sugar-based product is all blended in, the lip scrub, I'm going to take a little bit of Vaseline just to add a little bit of hydration, because just like the skin, you need a little bit of hydration just to help your lipstick or makeup sit a lot better. And just after the Vaseline, what I like to do is take a little bit of product, either foundation or concealer, and cancel out your natural lip line. And what this does is creates like a nice clean canvas for you to see where you can either create a bigger lip line if you would like, if you prefer to have a bit of a lip. If you've got fine lips, then it's good to use this little tip to create a bigger lip. So once that's all in place, just tap the foundation or the concealer into the lip again, just to make sure there's no crease lines or areas where you can see a line. And then I'm going to take a lip liner. This is the L'Oreal Paris in Riche Rose. And take the lip liner and just start stenciling out that lip line. And like I said, you can go, if you have a smaller top upper lip, you can go a little bit higher on the lip line to create that illusion that you've got a bigger top lip. And just follow it round. So a lip line is really great to use because it really helps keep that lipstick in place. So it doesn't matter if it blends into the rest of your lip, it just gives you that outline to follow for when you put the lipstick on. So now I'm going to go in with a super bright pink. This is the MAC Red Balloon in the range Amplified. And I'm going to go straight in with the lipstick and apply it just how you would a normal lipstick. And take it all the way around the inside of the lip. The other really good tip about using a lip liner is it stops the lipstick from bleeding. When we say bleeding, we mean coming outside of the lip line. So that's always really good if you're sipping on Prosecco. So if that's a little bit too shiny for you, or if you prefer to use more of a matte finish lipstick, then a really other great tip is to use a little bit of translucent powder. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Laura Mercier translucent and tap off the excess back into the palette, or into the lid, and take it onto a small brush and just gently tap over that lipstick. And this will really help stop any transfer. So this is actually a really great everyday tip to use. And don't worry if you've made any strange edges, because you can always go back in with the lip liner to correct them. So there you have it, a super bright lip for a day at the races that ties perfectly in with the hair.